I'm Roslyn Roz Ward, and I'm an actress in the DMV area. I grew up in the theater. I started when I was 5 years old. I went to church and I saw a performance, and I loved it. As I grew older, about the age of 10, I joined a children's theater company. I auditioned for my first live stage community theater production of A Christmas Carol. I went to performing arts high school and did all theater in college. I performed and I've worked backstage. I've also have been a part of a deaf and hard of hearing theater company, but I was a part of that company for about 14 years. I learned American Sign Language. I am fluent in American Sign Language. It's very different working with deaf people, working with hard of hearing people, knowing that they won't be able to hear a cue line, so we can't have lines. We have to be all visual, all physical, embodying the monologue, embodying the script. So taking that aspect, transforming it into, well, back into what I grew up with. I've learned to put them both together. I enjoy classical theater because it's a good foundation for theater overall. That's where I got my start in high school. I did a project on medieval theater, so my whole background was Shakespeare. You have to embody the speech and the monologue and embody the script. Even when you're not speaking, there still has to be something inside of you that is conveying the story, that is giving the story, that is embodying and breathing it into life, into the audience. And I love how modern can mesh with classical. I've done Midsummer Night's Dream in a Jamaican setting, so it can be done in intertwinable ways, I think. So that's the reason why I love it. It gives you a foundation to push forward and to create something more. Actresses I look up to, Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer, Jada Pinkett Smith, and some older actresses, Billie Holiday, Dorothy Dandridge. For me, I look up to them as a young performer, Whoopi Goldberg as well, as a young woman, young Black woman growing up in a Caucasian industry. There wasn't a lot of roles, for me, especially when I wanted to do Shakespeare or all these, wonderful traditional plays, classical plays that had come about. So I was always told, you should do, A Raisin in the Sun and Fences and For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough. These are the plays that we are taught that we should learn. But when I look at those other women and I see that they didn't stay in that box, they stepped outside of that. They didn't just want to do what they were told. And I think I admire that about them, having to do in women that do action roles as well, because you don't see a lot of women in action roles, like Lucy Liu and Uma Thurman. You have those women where I like to see women defy the status quo. I set the bar pretty high for myself, doing anything, whether it's a children's performance to working at the Kennedy Center. I set my bar high. And when I was wonderfully welcomed into Annapolis Shakespeare, I had just come off a 2-year hiatus of not performing. And I still had my bar set high. So I knew that I had to do 10 times more the work because I had to shake off the cobwebs of not performing. For the role of Lady Catherine, it was a little difficult because I had seen it already on screen, and with Dame Judi Dench, and that's scary. Just watching that and having to, when you offered me the role, I was like, "What? I'm happy, but I'm nervous at the same time. How can I play a woman who is supposed to be an older woman who has all this experience, who is mature, who is sophisticated, who does not take no for an answer?" Once I did get there, I was happy. I was satisfied. I saw Pride and Prejudice when I was young, so a lot of what she was saying was kind of like, but reading the book, reading the script, following a lot of your direction, and keeping with maintaining the energy on the inside, keeping that ball of fire burning, but remembering that I'm not in physical theater and that I still have to maintain and stay inside this box, which was a challenge, but also very eye-opening, illuminating as an actor. I always take things with a grain of salt. Never take anything personally. When you get a note, take it as a note. Don't take it personally. Don't get upset. Don't get defensive. That's my superpower. I take everything because I have been there. And when you don't take it with a grain of salt, you miss out on a lot of good stuff. Right now, I'm learning how to garden. And I'm also learning how to do voiceovers, writing my own stuff, producing my own stuff. And I'm excited about working with Annapolis Shakespeare once it opens. I'm excited about that. I look forward to getting, back out on stage. I look forward to continuing to evolve in my craft. There's always going to be art. Always. The theater is just a place where we bring it together and where it all comes together as one melting pot. And it creates a beautiful mural, a mosaic of art. That's what the theater is. When I'm on stage, it is a time to shine. And that's what I like to do. Energy lights up. Lights happen inside of me, fire. Everything that I have, all the pain, suffering, struggles that I've gone through are gone. They're not on stage. People come to the theater because they want to be entertained, because they want to leave all of their problems out there. You have to be able to embody that and give them the show that they came to see. And it's uplifting. That's my ministry to the world.